Welcome to the Fit Chicks and Hormones podcast, where we focus on all things midlife, hormones, and how to finally feel good in your body again. I'm Angie, a fellow midlife survivor and a coach, here to help you stop guessing and finally get results with hormone smart habits that actually work. Let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fit Chicks and Hormones podcast. I'm Angie Marone, a holistic hormone health coach, and today I'm here to let you know that you are not crazy. Okay. Today's not going to be about me telling you all the things that you're doing wrong and what you need to do instead. I want to be here just to give you a better understanding of what is happening to your body right now to help you feel seen, understood, because I'm hearing a lot of women say, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I don't recognize myself anymore. And I went to the doctor and they said, oh, you're just getting older. You need to accept it. There's nothing that we can do. And it just breaks my heart when I hear women say that, because you are not crazy. What is happening to you has a name and it has a purpose. Even though we may not love that it's happening no matter what. And when you get a better understanding of what is going on, why it's happening, you can stop feeling crazy. Okay? So let me paint a picture here real quick. And I want you to tell me, you can reply back, and let me know if any of this sounds familiar to you. So you go to bed at night, you wake up in the middle of the night, and you can't go back to sleep. So you're staring at the ceiling, maybe you're trying to do some deep breathing, try to get back to sleep, but all of a sudden your brain starts thinking about all the things that you need to do the following day, right? That mountain of to-dos, right? Or you start having these random thoughts about something that you said the other day that you suddenly feel like, oh my gosh, I could have said something different. Why did I do that? Like you're trying to figure out a different way that could have played out. And eventually you finally fall back to sleep at maybe around 5 o'clock, but then you have to get up at 6 a.m. The alarm goes off, you drag yourself out of your bed, and you just feel exhausted. And it's not the normal kind of tired that most people feel. It's the kind where you just feel like you can't function. And maybe coffee or caffeine is hardly even putting a dent in it. So then you step on the scale, which we all do, or most of us do every single morning, right? And you want to throw it across the room because it isn't changing or it's gone up and you feel like you're doing all the things right, but nothing is changing. It's not moving. It's not doing anything. And then you go to get dressed and your jeans feel tighter or your clothes don't fit the way they used to and your stomach starts to resemble the Pillsbury Doughboy around your waistline. I remember when that happened to me and I was like, what's happening? I don't understand. What is this stuff that is going around my belly area, right? And you're thinking, I'm doing everything. Why won't it go away? And you get frustrated, and I get it. I remember being there. Because you're doing all the things right, all the things that you thought would work, or even trying all the things that you used to do that worked. And you're not eating bad, right? You're doing all the things, but your body just isn't responding the way that it used to. Oh, but not just that, right? There's also those crazy out of control mood swings, like you're snapping at your husband or your kids over something small that's not even anything that you should be upset about. And as it's happening, you're kind of thinking to yourself, what is wrong with me? Why am I doing this? Maybe you get more anxious when you go out and hang with the same people that you've been hanging out for years, but you get a little bit more nervous. You get a little bit more, God, I really don't want to go. Or you find yourself crying in the car on the way to work. Not even sure why it's happening. I've done this so many times. Heading on the way to work, all of a sudden tears are running down my eyes. I'm like, I sure hope this stops before I see people, right? We've all done it. Because those mood swings, they come and go. You're irritable one moment, then you're sad, then you're fine, right? It's like sometimes this all happens within 15, 20 minutes, right? And underneath that, there's this unsettling feeling that you've lost a little bit of yourself. You don't recognize who you are. That woman who had all the energy, who was able to do all the things, right? She was on top of her to-do list. She was handling everything. She was taking care of everybody. She was going and could do all the things, and she felt good in her body. But right now, you don't even know who that is or who that was anymore. And so you think something's wrong with you. And you go to the doctor and you tell them all this that's going on. And they're like, okay, let's run some labs. And then the labs come back and they're like, well, everything looks pretty normal for your age. And then they maybe tell you to try eating a little bit less, maybe try moving a little bit more, right? They don't ask you all the other questions. And so you drive home from that appointment and you feel more alone than when you walked in, because nothing's changing, nothing's happening, nobody's listening. But here's what I want you to understand. You're in a hormonal transition, okay? Whether you're in perimenopause, which can start your late 30s to early 40s, or you're in full menopause or postmenopause, your body is going through one of the most significant biological shifts of your life. This is nothing like puberty. This is a whole different thing. Your body is so used to these hormones that have been in your body for so many years, and now they're slowly starting to disappear, and it doesn't know what to do with that, right? And it's not just because the estrogen is dropping, it's all kinds of, all the things, all the hormones, right? They're changing at once. Your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone, your cortisol, your insulin. These are not separate little things. They're all, I want you to think of them as pieces of a puzzle. And right now that puzzle is in a pile on your table and they're not going together. You're struggling to get them put together, okay? What we want to do is we want to start putting that puzzle together so that it looks like a complete picture and it looks like your life again. So I want to talk just a little bit about these hormones, right? What are these symptoms that are going on and what is happening, so that you can kind of be like, oh, that, a little light switch flipping in your head, that must be what is happening. Instead of thinking you're losing your mind, you're going crazy, no. Listen to what's happening, okay? So the issues that you're having with sleep. Progesterone is your calming, sleep supporting hormone, right? And it's dropping. It's going down. It's kind of going like this a little bit, then it's going down. And it's most often one of the first hormones that kind of go away. So your ability to stay in that deep sleep or have good sleep goes with it. So when you're waking up or your mind is going in the middle of the night, that's low progesterone. And it's going to mess with your sleep. So again, it's not anything you're doing, it's what your body is doing, okay? The exhaustion. When you're not getting this good sleep because your progesterone is dropping, your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, it's going up. And high cortisol tells your body to go into survival mode. And when your body's in survival mode, it does not prioritize your energy levels. It holds on to everything. It runs on fumes. And no amount of caffeine is going to help bring that cortisol back into rhythm. It's your hormones. It's the dropping progesterone and the rising cortisol, okay? Then we have this weight that's distributing around our belly, right? Because that's the thing, like even if the scale doesn't move, we're like, why is everything so tight in my belly? Why is everything tight around my waist? What is this belly fat that is happening that I can't get to move? This is the one I wanted to go just a little bit deeper on, because I feel like I know for myself, so I never really struggled. I didn't get pregnant. I didn't have a baby. I didn't really ever go through gaining weight that much until I hit, those perimenopausal years. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing all the same things. I haven't changed anything. I'm doing everything the same as I've always done it. And so you feel like, okay, so it's me. But it's not. And here's why. When your estrogen is dropping, your body starts storing more fat, particularly visceral fat around your belly area. It is there to protect your organs. That is the job that it was meant to do. We don't love it, but that's what it's there for, okay? And at the same time that this is happening, your insulin sensitivity is shifting. So we're becoming more insulin sensitive. And so if we're still eating a lot of carbohydrates and sugar, our body's not processing it the way that it did 5, 10, 15 years ago, okay? Again, it's hormones. So these same meals that you ate and you didn't gain any weight at 35, it's now just storing more fat on your body. So what it means is we just need to do some metabolic repair. We need to repair that metabolism, get it back into a place where it can learn how to burn the fat efficiently instead of storing it, okay? Then we have like the mood swings, the anxiety, the sadness, the crying, the tears, right? Estrogen is directly involved to serotonin and dopamine production. So these are your feel-good hormones. They make you feel good. When estrogen is going up and down, it can spike and crash all the time. So your mood goes with it. One minute you're happy, one minute you're sad, one minute you're crazy, one minute you're mad. Like, you're not emotionally unstable. It's your hormones, and you're on a hormonal roller coaster. And your body is just trying to keep up with it. Because, again, your hormones are doing what they're meant to do. Your body just doesn't know how to react to it, okay? And last, the lost sense of self. This one isn't talked about often enough. And I'm glad that I've been hearing more women talk about it, or at least share it, because I think it's the most important one. I touched base on this a little bit on my last podcast, the W of the Glow Method, last week. So if you missed that, you can go back and listen to that. That one was a little bit emotional for me. And I think it is for most women when we have to figure out what this new transition into postmenopause looks like for us, what these last 30, 40 years of our life is going to be like, right? So, because when you are feeling exhausted, you're not sleeping, you're gaining weight, your moods are all over the place, you stop trusting that you know what to do. And you stop trusting your body to do the things that it's meant to do. And there's that disconnection from yourself, from the woman you know yourself to be. And it's hard, but it's not permanent. Like I just mentioned, we have to figure out who this woman is now versus who she was before, because you can't be this woman anymore. You have to figure out who this new woman is going to be. And it's not going to be easy, right? I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. The last 15 years of my life have not been easy by any means. But it's more manageable. And I'm discovering all the different things that I want about my life right now versus 15 years ago, okay? And it's not about all the supplements that you need to take, or cutting out carbohydrates, or eating this one specific food, or adding more protein, and everything's going to be different, right? That's not how it works in your 40s and beyond. It just does not work like that. It's not just one thing that you have to shift. Unfortunately, it's all the pieces of the puzzle that I talked about, and not just the hormone puzzle, but all the lifestyle pieces of the puzzle that we have to work together to put them in. Instead of having them in a messed up pile, we need to start organizing them and putting them together, okay? And you also need to stop thinking of your hormones as the enemy, because you can get mad, you can get pissed off at them. You're like, I don't want this to happen, right? So it's kind of ironic that we're all like, oh, I can't wait till I no longer have a period because then life's going to be so great. Guess what? It's a whole different ballgame, because not only because of the hormones shifting the way they are, but the world that we live in right now is so different than it was 50 years ago. Women didn't have to deal with all the things that we're managing right now. And I've talked about all that stuff on other podcasts too, if you want to go back and listen. But again, your hormones are not the enemy. I want you to instead think of them as shifting. They are shifting. They are changing, which means you need to shift what you're doing along with them. Stop fighting against it. I know it's so hard. You're like, I don't want to change this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to dedicate. I don't want to change my habits. I don't want to give up these things. But I'm going to tell you what. When you start coming to the realization that you can either live in this body that's not making you happy or make some shifts to make it better, you're going to keep fighting against it, right? And when we start working with the body, where it's at right now, when you start giving your body what it needs in this season of life, I promise you, I 100% promise you, things are going to change, because I've seen it happen with the clients that I work with. When they're ready and willing to make these shifts and these changes, their world becomes different. And again, it's not all sunshine and roses. It's not all, all the good stuff. There's good days, there's bad days, but there's a lot more good days, and you know what needs to happen to to continue on with those good days. Because when you make those shifts and you stop fighting, you're going to sleep better. When you sleep better, your cortisol is going to be better, right? It's going to regulate. It's not going to be spiking up. And when your cortisol stops spiking, your body stops holding on to body fat. And when your body starts responding again, your confidence comes back. And when your confidence comes back, you show up differently. Because you're doing a little bit more meal prep in the kitchen, right? You're going out and going for those walks. You're handling and managing your conversations with people a little more calmly. You look in the mirror and you're proud of the woman that you're becoming. You're seeing the changes, not only physically, but mentally. You're becoming the woman that you were meant to be. You're not going to go back to the woman who you were at 35. But it's about stepping into this different version of yourself that's actually more grounded, more intentional, more in tune with her body than ever before. And that is the woman that you're meant to be. And we need to find her. She is waiting for you on the other side of all of this chaos right now. Okay? So if you are like, yes, crazy in my body, all the things are happening, I can relate to everything you say. I promise you're not crazy. You deserve to not be dismissed by the doctors, by anyone you talk to, by anyone you try to bring this up to. I'm here to listen if you want to talk to me, right? If you feel like the woman that you used to be kind of slipping away, I want you to know she hasn't. She's just waiting for you to understand what's happening so you can start showing up differently for her. She wants you just to do a little bit different things, right? And that's what I want for you too. I want you to start showing up differently for yourself because you deserve it. And I think that's the hardest thing is women, we're so used to taking care of everybody else, putting ourselves last. We don't really feel like we deserve to take care of ourselves. So we run ourselves into the ground until we are completely falling apart, until we are exhausted emotionally, physically. We don't like who we are. We don't like who we're becoming. And I want you to know that is not how it needs to be. You need to stop and put yourself first. You need to stop and put yourself first. That doesn't mean that you're going to ignore everybody else, but it means that you're going to show up for yourself more so that you have the energy to do the things that you need to do, right? So let me say this. I have something that's coming up, and I've talked about it a couple of times already. Very soon I'm going to be opening up the doors to my Midlife Momentum membership. And inside this membership, we focus on small, simple, daily steps that lead you to become this new version of yourself, right? We have so much going on in our lives right now. We don't need a list of 100 things that we need to do every day. We need small, intentional things that we need to focus on to bring our bodies back into sync, to start allowing our body to feel more calm, to feel more in control, for us to feel more in control. And I know like some of you are maybe have thought about my one-on-one coaching and maybe financially that's not right for you, but then this would be the perfect thing for you. It's the cost of 2 coffees each month, maybe 3. Which isn't much. If you're drinking coffee out 3 times a month, you deserve to put yourself first and pay for this membership, right? So this membership is for you if you have felt all the things that I talked about at the beginning, right? If you related to all that stuff, that story that I told at the beginning, and you're ready to stop wasting time and waiting for the right time or waiting for that perfect diet, or you've been thinking about taking a GLP-1, but you're like, I just don't think I want to go there. Then this is for you. Again, fraction of the cost of those GLP-1s, right? So if you don't want to miss out on the details when the doors open, which is going to be towards the end of this month, click the link in the show notes to get on that wait list, okay? Also, here's the best part. Because inside that membership, we do mini challenges from time to time. That's how we keep motivated. That's how we keep going. It's a lot more fun when we're doing things like that, right? We're going to be doing a 3-month summer shred inside the membership when you join, okay? And not only are you going to be able to shed inches, because you could be, in 3 months, you could shed 1 to 3 inches off your waist, but you're going to get rid of the hot flashes. You're going to shed the brain fog. You're going to shed the mood swings. You're going to shed the woman who felt invisible and finally come back to the woman that you were meant to be. So, if this sounds like something that, you know what, I want to know a little bit more, I'm interested in this, get on that wait list. All you need to do is go to the show notes, click on that link, put your name in there. It doesn't sign you up for anything. It just lets you, you will just be the first one to know when I open the doors so that you can check out the information and see if this is for you. Because my guess is, because I've had many conversations on social media about women that they're struggling with the things, but they're not ready to commit. So maybe you've been waiting long enough to feel like yourself and you had no direction on how to get there. So if that's you, let's make this happen together, because I find that the number one thing that most of us are missing is someone who will listen to them and someone who will hold them accountable and show them the path to take. Okay, and that's what I want to do for you. Thank you so much. That's all I got for today. Hopefully this resonated with you. I appreciate you, and I want you to know you're not alone in this journey. We are all of us women, we're in this together. All of us are in this together, and we're all going to go through this no matter what. So if you found this useful or hit home or resonated some way, I would love for you to share it with a friend or share it on social media, or even take a screenshot and share it on social media and tag me in it. I would love to know that you watched it. All right, thank you so much for being here and listening. I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. If today's episode hit home, make sure to subscribe to the show and share it with a friend who needs it too. And if you're ready for more support, come hang out with us in the Fit Chicks and Hormones community. The link is in the show notes. And until next time, keep showing up for yourself. You deserve it.